Hello everybody. Right, today's video, Mauser C96 by KWC. This is a version with a shoulder stock. Well, CO2, detachable magazine, there we go, standard type, CO2 cartridge goes in the magazine. Now on these you actually take out this grub screw here, well, tightening screw, whatever you want to call it, pop the CO2 cartridge in, tighten that up, hear a little hiss, and there you go. You can fill it up using just any speed loader. I used the one that came with my Crownland and it worked just fine. It actually works better in this than it does in the Crownland. Pull down the tab, which I'm trying to do. So there we go. I have no fingernails, what can I say? Pull it down, use the speed loader, whiz them in, holds about 20. Yeah. From a CO2 cartridge you get about 80 shots. I managed to get through 4 full magazines. So see, does a pretty good puncher. The valve does a good job. It's not like a Humerex where it just sort of kisses the surface. It really punctured it nicely. So what's it like to shoot? Well, I'll put a couple of inserts in of me shooting it and you can determine for yourselves. Right, first few shots with the C96. See how this goes. I had a few misfires with it. More on that later. I'm sure you'll agree, CO2 on a cold day, that's not too bad. So what about the actual walk around of the gun? Well, yeah, I mean it's solid. Yeah, there's a decent weight to it. All the controls actually move, unlike a replica, they're there. Hammer, yeah. By the way, this is unloaded, definitely. You can see, no CO2 cartridge, no nothing. It all works very nicely. The sight does actually move. Sprung loaded, yeah, works really well. I do love the fact that they're actually graduated out to 1,000 yards. I just find that hilarious. Yeah, I know it comes with a buttstock. That doesn't make it a sniper rifle. Anyway, it's got this full auto and auto mode selector here. Obviously UK market, you've only got semi-auto. Magazine release, it all just works really well. Yeah, bit of a letdown, the handles, they're plastic and they do look, it probably looks okay in the video, but no, not really. But yeah, otherwise it's all good. Yeah, not bad at all, not bad at all. It all has a nice solidity to it. The metal does have a bit of a plasticky feel to it, but I think it is actually made out of something a bit higher grade than some of the others, so it doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart immediately. It's okay, that's interesting. This sort of sleeve bit over the barrel is actually loose. There's me saying it's not going to fall apart, and yeah, well, never mind. Let's hope that ain't going to fall apart. What I was interested in though was comparing this to a real one. And thanks to my friend Lee, just happened to have a real one here. So, this is a deactivated Bolo, which is a simplified version with a shortened barrel. You can see it doesn't have the extended magazine. Now, I'm not 100% sure really whether that extended magazine is fully representative of what was out there, because none of the holsters will accommodate one. Yeah, I'm not not convinced, to be honest. But then again, how else are they going to accommodate the CO2 cartridge? So you can understand it. Now, I hope that you can see, I mean, this is weathered, this is patina, there's no refinishing being done to this. This is, yeah, aged very nicely. Compare it to the KWC and I think you'll start to understand what I mean by it. The metal looks plasticky. I know it's probably been painted, which doesn't help, but you can see the sort of the way the edges are, the way it all is, compared to the real deal. The realism just well, it's not there, is it? Let's face it. Take it away and it's back to looking, you know, pretty good. But bring the real one back in and yeah, it's suffered. It's not looking so good. But don't let that detract from it too much, because actually this does shoot really well and it's very enjoyable to shoot. Now, I copped a bit of flack about including replicas in the channel and deactivated guns being so much better. I can't argue with you, deactivated guns are better than replicas as long as they're old spec. I mean, look at this. That's putty has been put in there because in the UK you have to show the deactivation. So you'd have to be able to fetch that out if needs be. So there's a great big cut being put in the barrel. Nasty bit of weld and a bit of rod stuck through there. And because this is new spec, that doesn't move. Oh, yeah, it doesn't move, doesn't do anything. Hammer comes back and it doesn't cock. Doesn't do anything. It's a paperweight. It doesn't do anything at all, and I'll be honest with you, because of that, it doesn't do anything for me whatsoever. And yeah, the sight moves, which is better than a replica because it wouldn't move on a replica. And the safety catch moves, which again is probably going to be cast in on most replicas. But, well, I mean, look, yeah. It's vandalism. Deactivation is vandalism, and that's why replicas are better than deactivated guns now, because deacts are, well, yeah, it makes me cry when you look at what's done to them, and well, they just don't do anything at all. Simple as that. Very sad, very sad. Anyway, enough wailing and gnashing and crying. What else have we got? We've got the shoulder stock here. It does actually make a difference for shooting. It does make it pretty damn enjoyable, except for one thing. There's a lot of play. And yeah, you've got to compensate for that. You've got to sort of push out and hold so that then it's under tension, so then it doesn't flex about when you're trying to shoot. So to show what I mean, let's do a few shots with the shoulder stock fitted. Well, that's pretty impressive actually. But it does improve accuracy, I have to say. I've lost my train of thought. It always helps when you actually write a script and know what you're talking about. Other features, so as I said before, empty. Empty. There you go. Trigger. It's a lot of take up, long take up. Hit the wall. There you go. Actually not bad. It's alright. It's not great, it's not bad. Yeah, it's alright. It's not a bad trigger at all. The actual movement of everything, as I say, sight, it does feel nice. It's sprung loaded, which is good. Yeah, it all feels right. I mean, I can't compare it to the real deal because obviously that's just a welded up thing. But the other reason I wanted to borrow that off of Lee is if you've bought the Winston Churchill C96 holster, because Winston Churchill favoured the C96, and you think, oh, I'll pop mine in there, KWC, that'll be great, that'll be fantastic. No, you can't, because it doesn't actually fit. So just something to bear in mind. It don't fit, and I think that's because of the long barrel. It's bottoming out. Yeah, it's bottomed out down here, and very, very irritating. What I might do is put another hole in here so that you can actually close it off. In fact, yeah, that's going to be my best bet. That's seriously irritating. But just to prove that the holster was actually designed for something that resembles a C96. There we go. Still a bit tight, like everything Soldier of Fortune. Or was this Epic Militaria? It's one of the two. I've put it in the description which one I got it from. There you go. See? So yeah, if I was you, if you're going to buy a KWC and you're going to buy the shoulder stock, then I would buy one of the holsters that actually holds the shoulder stock. Subject of the holster, if you do buy it, don't go thinking that this is a pouch for your magazine, because it won't fit. No, that pouch is actually for the charger clips, because these loaded via a charger clip through the top. It's very interesting. This has a sort of impression of the cutout, but it's not really there. But yeah, if you want to see a good video, by the way, on the actual C96, get onto Garand Thumb's channel and have a look for his C96 video. In fact, I'll put a link in the description. Brilliant video, and he does a little skit at the start where he actually shows it in action, like sort of a trench scene. Very good, very well shot. His budget must be crazy, how he manages to do this. Unfortunately, I'm not that well funded, so I'm here on my study floor while my wife is cooking tea downstairs, which is like, she never cooks tea, so I can only assume she's done something wrong. Okay, this could be fun. Anyway, top it off, close it out. What do I think of the C96 from KWC? I think with a bit of weathering, a bit of sort of taking the shiny finish off, get rid of this writing, it's going to be pretty damn good. What do I think of the shoulder stock? Well, yeah, it works. There we go. So I reckon I'm going to get one of the holsters that actually goes into. What do I think of the grips on it? Yeah, they're the least successful part of it. Yeah, they don't do it for me. They're not bad. I've seen worse, but yeah, they're not bad. Magazine. I have been having some initial feed issues. Now what's been happening is, when you pull the tab down and it gets to the bottom here, it's been tending to sort of ping out a bit and kind of get stuck down here and not push the next round up in. So there we go, just done it. It just sits like that. So make sure when you load and you go to about there, if I was you, you see the plunger there, only take it to about there. Otherwise you may end up with the issues I've been having. Hopefully not, but worth bearing in mind. Otherwise, I like it. Glad I bought it. Bought it second-hand at the Stoneleigh Military Fair. Saw it on a stand, thought, wow, they're out of stock everywhere, so didn't mind paying a bit more than I'd have liked to for it, but second-hand it's still cheaper than new, and yeah, glad I bought it. That's all I'm going to say, really. Glad I bought it.